So we have started with the chapter of atomic structure. In the atomic structure, we have seen our first theory, which is Dalton's theory of atom, and we have seen that Dalton's theory of atom is based on the data of atomic mass, and based on that particular data, he has given some postulates. Those postulates are: atom is the smallest indivisible particle which takes part in a chemical reaction. ये जो particular postulate है, ये वाला postulate सही है. And based on atomic mass data, उसने ऐसा कुछ कहा है, if two atoms are having same masses, then they should be atoms of the same element and they should be having similar properties. Okay, when Dalton first gave his theory, the electron, proton, neutron का discovery नहीं हुआ. The only data which he had is of atomic mass. Atomic mass is nothing but mass of one atom of any given element. हर किसी एटम, हर किसी एलिमेंट के एटॉमिक मास का डेटा उसके पास अवेलेबल था. Based on that particular atomic mass data, he has given postulates according for the theory of atom. According to that, if two atoms are having similar masses, then they should be atoms of same element and they should be having similar properties. And he said that if two atoms are having different masses, then they should be obviously atoms of different elements, according to him. And he concluded different elements will be having different properties. The properties can be physical properties or chemical properties. Physical properties मतलब उनका state, like gas होगा या liquid होगा या solid होगा. This comes under physical property. Chemical property मतलब whenever I am reacting that particular element with another compound, what will be the reaction? Okay. He said that different elements are having different physical and chemical properties is because of their different masses. दो elements का masses अलग अलग है, hence उनका reactions और उनका physical properties भी अलग रहेगा. Like sodium का mass जो है, it is 23 AMU. Sodium का mass 23 AMU है. AMU is the unit for measuring the mass of the atom. Okay, and hydrogen का mass है 1 AMU. Both of them are having different masses, hence their physical property. Hydrogen is a gas and sodium is a solid. उनका mass अलग होने की वजह से उनका physical property ऐसा कुछ आ रहा है करके कहा उसने. And hydrogen जो है, it is not so reactive with water. Whenever you take sodium, if you place that particular sodium in water, the reaction is an explosive reaction. इन दोनों का chemical properties भी अलग है. He attributed this particular difference in chemical property with their atomic masses. Okay, ठीक है. And he said that atoms combine in simple whole number ratios to form a molecule. Whenever you are taking the example of any molecule, if you can see the ratio in which the atoms are combining, in this case it is 2:1, in this case it is 2:1:4, in this case it is 2:3. You can take any molecule. In all those molecules, the ratio of the atoms in which they are combining, okay, will always bear a simple whole number ratio. You can never see a molecule of formula H5.6 O 9.8 or sulfur 2.5 O 3.6 and 4.8. ऐसा कुछ बनेगा ही नहीं, कभी भी नहीं हो पाएगा. The reason being, the first point says that atom is the smallest indivisible particle which takes part in a chemical reaction. Whenever you are having a chemical reaction, the entity which is actually participating in the reaction is the atom. Okay, you cannot have half atom reacting in a reaction to form some molecule. ऐसे कभी हो नहीं सकता है. Hence ये जो particular statement है, this is valid even now till date. बचा हुआ statements जो है, these statements got failed. Like if two atoms are having same mass, then they should be atoms of same element, and different masses, then they should be atoms of different elements. Those particular points got failed because of discovery of isotopes and isobars. Isotopes क्या होता है? सबसे पहले हमने ये भी मार्क किया है. Any element X can have two different numbers. One is the atomic number and the other is mass number. Atomic number tells us about the number of protons or the number of electrons present in a neutral atom. Mass number tells us about the total number of protons and neutrons. Okay. Isotopes मतलब क्या होगा? Isotopes are elements having or atoms having same atomic number but different mass number. ये जो mass number है, mass number is responsible for the mass of the atom. If you are having different mass number, obviously you will be having different masses. Okay, mass number is sum of protons plus the neutrons. Inside an atom you have electrons, protons and neutrons. Out of these three entities, electrons का mass जो रहेगा, it is very negligible when compared to mass of proton and neutron. So if you want to calculate the mass of an atom, it is in general mass of the protons plus mass of the neutrons plus mass of the electrons. As electrons mass is very less when compared to protons and neutrons, if you don't add mass of the electron also in the calculation of overall mass, ज़्यादा फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. It is just like adding 1 rupee to 1 million rupees or 1 billion rupees. 100 करोड़ को 1 रुपया ऐड करने से फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. Similarly, mass number matlab all those entities which are actually contributing to the mass, like protons and neutrons. Sum of protons plus neutrons is nothing but the mass number. Atomic number is nothing but number of protons or the electrons. So if two atoms are having same atomic number but different mass number, their masses will be different. Those are nothing but isotopes. Suppose Dalton ने ये तीन atoms को लिया है और उनका masses weigh किया है. This particular 1H1 will be having mass according to this particular mass number 1, and this particular atom will be having mass according to the mass number 2, and this particular atom will be having mass according to the mass number 3. Okay, so all of them are having different masses, hence Dalton will conclude they should be atoms of different elements, but all these atoms belong to same element, which is hydrogen. Dalton के हिसाब से क्या होना चाहिए? They should be atoms of different element. But हमको पता है all these atoms are of the same element, hydrogen. Hence I can say discovery of isotopes led to the failure of Dalton's theory. Isobars क्या होता है? They are having same mass number but different atomic number. If they are having same mass number, if I am weighing these two atoms, इन दोनों का mass क्या आएगा? They will come based on this particular mass number 40. दोनों का same आएगा. But we know that according to Dalton, अगर same आ गया तो क्या होगा? He will be saying that these must be atoms of the same element. But we already know that these are atoms of different elements. एक argon का है, एक calcium का है. Hence, discovery of isobars also led to the failure of Dalton's theory. ओके ये तो नॉर्मल है, आइसोटोप एंड आइसोबार्स इनकी वजह से फेल तो हुआ है, बट मेन है व्हेन इलेक्ट्रॉन, प्रोटॉन एंड न्यूट्रॉन वर डिस्कवर्ड, डाल्टन थ्योरी को कंप्लीटली डिस्कार्ड किया गया, बिकॉज डाल्टन ने कहा एटम इज द स्मॉलेस्ट थिंग, उसके अंदर कुछ नहीं रहेगा. ओके, बट लेटर वी डिस्कवर्ड दैट एटम के अंदर इलेक्ट्रॉन्स रहेगा, प्रोटॉन्स रहेगा, न्यूट्रॉन्स रहेगा. इलेक्ट्रॉन्स का डिस्कवरी जो है उसके बारे में भी बात किया हमने. इलेक्ट्रॉन डिस्कवरी वाज मेड बाय सर जे थॉमसन विद द हेल्प ऑफ एन एक्सपेरिमेंट कॉल्ड कैथोड रे एक्सपेरिमेंट. सो इस एक्सपेरिमेंट में हमने apparatus के बारे में भी देखा है. सबसे पहले इन द apparatus you have a glass tube which is called as Crookes tube. Inside that particular glass tube we have placed two metal plates. Those two metal plates are attached to a battery whose voltage is very high, almost 10,000 volts. And inside the tube we have also placed a gas at low pressure. Low pressure ही maintain करना पड़ेगा because gases can conduct electricity only at low pressures. High pressure रखा तो जो भी हमको observations आया है ना वो कभी कुछ दिखेगा ही नहीं. और ऐसा कुछ सोच सकते हो, डाल्टन ने हाई प्रेशर से स्टार्ट किया होगा एक्सपेरिमेंट, कुछ रिजल्ट नहीं आया, प्रेशर घटाते जाओ, घटाते गया. At one particular pressure, if the pressure is very low, he has observed some changes. Okay, inside the tube you also placed a ZNS screen whose property is called as phosphorescence. Phosphorescence का मतलब क्या होता है? ये जो ZNS screen का केस में, whenever you impart any charged particle on that particular ZNS screen, it will produce sparks. The property of phosphorescence is it will produce sparks or scintillations whenever a charged particle falls on it. So in the experiment, when he started the experiment by placing two metal plates and by connecting them to battery and by placing a gas at low pressure, when he started that particular experiment, he observed some rays emerging from the cathode and they started traveling towards the anode, and they produced some distinct sparks on placed on distinct sparks on the ZNS screen, which is placed just behind anode. So ये sparks देखते ही हम ये conclude कर सकते हैं those rays which are coming from the cathode must be charged. क्योंकि ZNS screen का property ये है, if a charged particle falls on it, it will be producing sparks, right? So ये जो particles जो भी cathode के अंदर से आ रहे हैं, I can conclude that those are charged. As they are coming from cathode, he called these rays as cathode rays. Okay. In order to study the nature of the charge, अभी उसने ये conclude किया है, those have to be charged, but he didn't conclude if they are positively charged or negatively charged. So in order to know that, he placed one more external battery, और एक battery लगाया है. सभी लोग हैं ना lecture के अंदर? Okay. He placed one more external battery. When he placed an external battery, these rays started deviating towards the positive terminal of the battery. वो कैसे ऑब्जर्व किया उसने? जो initially जो sparks से, they were uniform. Now the sparks were more and more concentrated towards the positive end of the battery. If the sparks are more concentrated towards the positive end, I can conclude that these rays are deviated towards the positive end. If they are deviated towards the positive end, they have to be negatively charged. बोल सकता हूँ वो? So from that he concluded the rays are negatively charged. उसके बाद ये जो sparks है, even though you have anode just before the ZNS screen, these sparks were distinct. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ होगा? ये जो particular rays है, they penetrated this particular anode and they are falling on this particular region. As they are penetrating through them, I can say these rays are very highly energetic. उनके पास ज़्यादा energy है, or they have some penetration power. So from this, he concluded that these rays have high penetration power, or they have very high amount of energy. Okay. उसके बाद उसने क्या किया? In the path of the cathode rays, he placed a small wheel, small mechanical wheel. When he placed the small mechanical wheel, the wheel started to rotate. इसका मतलब क्या है? ये जो particular rays है, they were able to exert some force on the wheel. Anything which is able to exert force, I can say it should possess a property called mass. If it doesn't possess any mass and if it is having only some energy, and केवल energy है, kinetic energy नहीं है उसके पास, there is some form of energy. Because of that particular energy, ये जो particular wheel है, it can be heated up, but it can never be rotated. Like in case of light rays के पास भी energy है. वो रेस इस पर्टिकुलर व्हील के ऊपर गिरा तो ये जो पर्टिकुलर व्हील है वो गर्म होता जाएगा, बट इट विल नेवर बी रोटेटेड बिकॉज लाइट रेस डजंट पोसेस एनी मास. ओके, सो बाय द ऑब्जर्वेशन ऑफ rotation of this particular wheel, he concluded that these rays must possess some mass. Okay, okay, ठीक है. उसके बाद उसने क्या किया? In the path of the cathode rays, he placed an opaque object. Whenever he placed an opaque object, he found the shadow of the object. इसका मतलब ये इसने ये conclude किया, ये जो rays है, they are coming from the cathode rays in straight lines. They are not coming as waves. ऐसा कुछ नहीं आ रहा है. They are coming in straight lines. Or else he concluded that cathode rays travel in straight lines. क्या क्या है cathode rays का properties क्या है? The properties of cathode rays are: these rays travel in straight lines. These rays are charged. Charge जैसे कैसे conclude किया? Because of the sparks of the ZNS screen. These rays are negatively charged because they deviated towards the positive terminal of the external battery. These rays are having some mass, that is because of rotation of the mechanical wheel. Okay. उसके बाद हमने इसके source के बारे में भी discuss किया. What can be the possible source for the cathode rays? One obvious source is the metal plate, क्योंकि metal plate के अंदर से आ रहा है. दूसरा एक hidden source भी है. The source is gas atoms. Whenever you have gas atoms के अंदर हमें पता है, अभी पता है, it is having some electrons, protons and neutrons. When these rays which are having very high energy, if they fall on the electron, this electron can be kicked out. अभी ये जो इलेक्ट्रॉन है ये भी नेगेटिवली चार्ज्ड है, so this negative charge also will be attracted towards the positive terminal of the battery, ये वाला यहाँ पे towards the anode. Hence those rays, ये जो particular electrons है, they also contribute or they also comprise that particular cathode rays. Okay. उसके बाद final उसने क्या किया, he calculated, now that he has established they have some charge, उसको some E माना हमने, and they also have some mass m, he calculated the value of E upon m, E by m ratio through some experiment, जिनके बारे में details हम लोग बाद में देखेंगे future में in your higher studies. What is that particular experiment in order to calculate E upon m ratio? Okay. So he calculated the value of E upon m. E upon m is nothing but charge of that particular cathode ray divided by mass of that particular cathode ray. When he calculated the E by m ratio in different scenarios, मतलब वो जो metal plates है, excuse me, उसने क्या किया, he calculated the E upon m ratio in different experiments. He repeated the experiments by taking different metal plates as cathode and anode. He repeated the experiments by taking different metal plates as cathode and anode and different gases inside the tube. इनको ही replace करते हुए क्यों किया experiment? Because these are the sources of the cathode rays. Okay, in all the cases, in all the scenarios, he observed the same observations, which are, he observed some sparks, he observed the deviation of the cathode rays towards the positive terminal, he observed the rotation of the mechanical wheel, and he observed the shadow of the opaque object. इसका मतलब, I can clearly conclude, irrespective of the metal and irrespective of the gas, you are having a generation of cathode rays in all the cases. इसका मतलब वो जो cathode rays है, those must be present in each and every element, because these metal plates and gases are nothing but elements. Okay, ऐसा कभी नहीं हुआ, ये जो पर्टिकुलर मेटल है अगर कॉपर से किया तो एक बार आया नहीं वो कैथोड रेस, ऐसा हुआ क्या? नहीं हुआ. एक बार ऑक्सीजन गैस को लगाया तो तभी भी दिखा नहीं है हमें कैथोड रेस, ऐसा भी नहीं हुआ. इसका मतलब क्या है, ये जो कैथोड रेस है सारे के सारे एलिमेंट्स में पड़ा है. ओके, इसके अलावा when he calculated the value of E upon m, interestingly he found the E upon m ratio in all the cases to be an unique value, which is 1.758820 into 10 power 11. चार्ज का यूनिट्स होता है कूलम और मास का यूनिट होता है केजी. ये वाला वैल्यू सबके लिए वही आ रहा है. ऑक्सीजन गैस लगाओ इसके अंदर, या कॉपर मेटल को लगाओ, सिल्वर मेटल को लगाओ, हीलियम गैस को लगाओ, अमोनिया, कोई भी गैस लगाओ इसके अंदर, उसको फर्क नहीं पड़ा. irrespective of the nature of the gas and the nature of the metal, the value of E upon m is constant. From this, the final conclusion which we can make is, कैथोड रेस तो सब एलिमेंट्स के अंदर है ही है, वो तो पहले से ही हमको पता चल गया. बट वो जो पर्टिकुलर कैथोड रेस डिफरेंट एलिमेंट्स में जो भी है, दोज आर ऑफ सेम नेचर, सब में एक जैसा ही है. अगर सब में एक जैसा नहीं रहता तो द वैल्यू मस्ट बी डिफरेंट. ई अपॉन रेशियो का वैल्यू डिफरेंट आना चाहिए था, बट ऐसा हुआ क्या? नहीं हुआ. सारे केसेस में ई अपॉन एम का रेशियो एक यूनिक वैल्यू आ रहा था. सो फ्रॉम दिस he concluded that cathode rays which are present in different elements are of the same nature. If something is present in all the species, and in all the species if it is of the same nature, it is called as fundamental. उसके लिए एग्जांपल दिया तुम लोग को फंडामेंटल राइट्स के बारे में. फंडामेंटल राइट्स क्या होता है? जो सबके पास होता है एंड सबका राइट जो है एक जैसा ही है. It is not different for different individuals. If it is same and which is present in all the things, then it is called as fundamental. Hence he concluded ये जो particular cathode ray जो भी है, it is fundamental to each and every element. Okay, it is fundamental to each and every element, and that particular cathode ray is termed as electron, by another scientist called Stoney. So the credit for the discovery of electron goes to J.J. Thomson, but उसका naming जो दिया है, it is given by scientist called Stoney. Okay, I hope this particular experiment for the discovery of electron is clear to everyone. अभी ये पर्टिकुलर एक्सपेरिमेंट में हमने E/m रेशियो निकाला है, which is charge of the electron divided by mass of the electron. We don't know individually what is the charge of electron and mass of the electron. उसका रेशियो बताया मैं. Okay, so there is another scientist whose name is called as Millikan, and he has performed an experiment called Millikan oil drop experiment. Let us understand that particular experiment. And उसने कैसे, yeah,
so your voice
hello,
is not properly audible to me.
Okay, give me 2 minutes. Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We are going to see an experiment where we will see what will be the charge of electron. एक इलेक्ट्रॉन के ऊपर चार्ज कितना रहेगा. Okay, that experiment is performed by a scientist called Millikan, and the experiment is called as Millikan oil drop experiment. We just need to understand the experiment. उसने क्या क्या कैलकुलेशंस किया, exactly कौन से फॉर्मूला से किया, अभी हमको वो अंडरस्टैंड करने के लिए जरूरत नहीं है. We just need to understand the experiment. उसने क्या कैसे सोचा है. Okay. Again, first let us understand the apparatus. ये एक glass chamber है. Inside the glass chamber, he has placed 2 metal plates. ऊपर एक है, नीचे एक है, and he connected those 2 metal plates to a battery again. Okay. ये वाला पॉजिटिव टर्मिनल हो गया, ये वाला नेगेटिव टर्मिनल हो गया. If this particular metal plate is attached to the positive terminal, उसके ऊपर कौन सा चार्ज आएगा हमारे पास, उसके पास पॉजिटिव चार्ज इंड्यूस होगा ये मेटल प्लेट के ऊपर, एंड जो नेगेटिवली चार्ज टर्मिनल के साथ अटैच्ड है उसके पास नेगेटिव चार्ज इंड्यूस होगा. ओके, ये बीच में एक गैप जैसा रखा है ना, ये ऐसा कुछ है. अगर ये वाला मेटल प्लेट है तो उसके बीच में एक ओपनिंग है. ओके, दिस इज नॉट लाइक दिस, मतलब ऐसा ओपनिंग नहीं है, बीच में एक छोटा सा होल है बस. आई होप दिस इज क्लियर. ये वाला छोटा सा होल है, क्यों रखा है मैं बताता हूँ. ओके, this is nothing but again anode, this is cathode. अभी कुछ पॉइंट्स पढ़ने वाले हैं हम. those particular points are very very important. सबसे पहले let us try to understand those points. एक जो इलेक्ट्रॉन है, as of now सब लोग को ऐसा कुछ अंडरस्टैंडिंग होगा that the electron is bound to the nucleus or the electron is revolving around the nucleus. Okay, a nucleus is positively charged entity and an electron is negatively charged, so positive और negative charge के बीच में attractive forces रहेगा. In any system, if there are attractive forces, the system will be stable. Suppose हमारा example लेते हैं. If there are attractive forces between students and teachers, that particular system will be stable. मैं जो भी पढ़ाने वाला हूँ या पढ़ाऊंगा, you will be listening to that particular lecture and you will be understanding that as a result there will be some benefit for the entire system. Okay, suppose if there are repulsive forces between the teacher and students, जो मैं समझा रहा हूँ तुम लोग को अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है, in that particular case और जो particular system है it is not so stable. Okay, so attractive forces in any system will lead to stability. Repulsive forces in any system will lead to instability. ये वाला पॉइंट क्लियर है सबको? जितना ज्यादा अट्रैक्टिव फोर्सेस है उतना ज्यादा स्टेबिलिटी है. अट्रैक्टिव फोर्सेस will lead to stability. Repulsive forces instability. Okay, or it is unstable system. Okay, अभी attractive forces किसके ऊपर डिपेंड होगा? Can I say this depend upon the distance between the nucleus and the electron? If the distance between the nucleus and the electron is less, the attractive forces will be more. ये जो electron है, if it is going away and away from the nucleus, what will happen? The distance will be increased. If the distance increases, the attractive force will be decreased. Okay, if attractive force is decreasing, what is happening to the stability of the system? Can I say it is also decreased? Hello, is my voice audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. मैं क्या बता रहा हूँ, कोई भी सिस्टम में अट्रैक्टिव फोर्सेस होना चाहिए. अट्रैक्टिव फोर्सेस रहा तो द सिस्टम विल बी स्टेबल. रिपल्सिव फोर्सेस रहा तो द सिस्टम विल बी अनस्टेबल. ओके, अट्रैक्टिव फोर्सेस फर्दर किसके ऊपर डिपेंड होगा? इट डिपेंड्स अपॉन द डिस्टेंस बिटवीन द टू पार्टिकल्स. लेस इज द डिस्टेंस, more will be the attractive forces. More is the distance, lesser will be the attractive force. Suppose classroom में ही देखते हैं, if the student is more and more interested, he will be placed in the first bench or he will be sitting in the first bench. Okay, classroom के सिनेरियो में. अभी तो ऐसा कुछ सिनेरियो नहीं है हमारे पास ऑनलाइन लेक्चर से ना, बट इफ यू आर टेकिंग द एग्जांपल ऑफ क्लासरूम, जो स्टूडेंट बहुत ज्यादा अटेंटिव रहेगा, बहुत ज्यादा इंटरेस्टेड रहेगा, यूजुअली ही विल प्रेफर टू sit in the first bench. If the student is not interested, in general क्या होता है, वो जो particular student है, because of the repulsive forces or because of lesser attractive forces, he will be sitting in the last bench, right? Or else I can say as I move from first bench to last bench, और जो interest होता है students का, in general I am assuming this, in general वो interest होता है वो जो है घटता जाएगा. Okay, clear है? Okay. With respect to energy, मैं ये बोल सकता हूँ, more is the stability of the system, lesser will be the energy. उसके लिए example कैसे देख सकते हैं? Suppose if I am teaching a particular lesson, if you are sitting very quiet, and if you are entirely focusing on the lecture, इसका मतलब वो system stable है. वो system stable है, और else तुम लोग का energy जो है वो कम है. Suppose if you are having more and more energy, you will not tend to remain silent. You will always tend to talk to others, in which case the system is becoming unstable. ये किस वजह से हुआ? तुम लोग के पास एनर्जी रहने के वजह से. More is the energy inside the system, lesser will be the stability. With respect to energy, the stability is inversely proportional. जितना ज़्यादा एनर्जी रहेगा, and as the energy increases, stability decreases. Okay, समझ में आ रहा है? मतलब क्या है? If the electron is close to the nucleus, its energy will be low. If the electron is going away and away from the nucleus, its energy will be increased. Okay? If I want to remove an electron, क्या करना पड़ता है? I have to increase the energy of the electron. मतलब क्या है? Initially electron यहाँ पे मान लेते हैं, ये वाला यहाँ पे मान लेते हैं, उसके पास कुछ तो amount of energy है. If I want to remove that particular electron, I need to decrease the attractive forces with the nucleus. In order to do that, I need to increase the energy of the electron. क्योंकि इलेक्ट्रॉन का एनर्जी बढ़ाता जा रहा हूँ तो उसका स्टेबिलिटी डिक्रीज हो रहा है। स्टेबिलिटी डिक्रीज होने के लिए अट्रैक्टिव फोर्सेस क्या होना चाहिए, घटना चाहिए। अट्रैक्टिव फोर्सेस कब घटेगा, whenever the electron is going away and away from the nucleus. So this I can do that by incidenting some energy on the electron. Okay, the energy you can incident either in the form of light, और जो नॉर्मल लाइट होता है ना, लाइट उसके ऊपर इंसिडेंट किया तो क्या होगा, इलेक्ट्रॉन विल बी एब्जॉर्बिंग दैट पर्टिकुलर लाइट, एज द रिजल्ट इट्स एनर्जी इज इंक्रीज्ड। एनर्जी इंक्रीज हुआ तो सिस्टम का स्टेबिलिटी क्या होना चाहिए, कम होना चाहिए। सिस्टम का स्टेबिलिटी कम हो रहा है मतलब its attractive forces are decreasing, मतलब it is going away and away from the nucleus. Okay, it is going away and away from the nucleus. So you need to incident such an amount of energy. सपोज ज्यादा एनर्जी डाल दिया इसके ऊपर, ज्यादा एनर्जी डाल दिया, इलेक्ट्रॉन सिस्टम के अंदर से बाहर ही चला जाएगा। लाइक एक स्टूडेंट सपोज मान लेते हैं क्लासरूम में, he is getting uninterested. So पहले क्या होगा, he will be the student who is staying in the first bench, he will be going to the second bench पहले, अभी और uninterested हुआ, he will be going to third bench, और uninterested हुआ fourth bench, fifth bench, last bench तक चला जाएगा। वो इतना ज्यादा अनइंटरेस्टेड हो गया, देयर कैन बी चांस दैट ही इज लीविंग दैट पर्टिकुलर क्लासरूम। ओके, ये कब हो सकता है, एक्सट्रीम केस में, इफ आई एम इंसिडेंटिंग एनर्जी, उतना ज्यादा एनर्जी इंसिडेंट कर लिया तो इसका एनर्जी बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ जाएगा। इन दैट केस द अट्रैक्टिव फोर्स विद द न्यूक्लियस कैन बी कंप्लीटली डिक्रीज्ड और एल्स द इलेक्ट्रॉन कैन बी किक्ड आउट। ओके, ये इलेक्ट्रॉन निकालने का प्रोसीजर मैं तुम लोग को क्यों पढ़ा रहा हूँ, बिकॉज आई वांट टू मेजर द चार्ज ऑफ द इलेक्ट्रॉन। इफ यू वांट टू मेजर द चार्ज ऑफ द इलेक्ट्रॉन, इफ इट इज प्रेजेंट इनसाइड एन एटम, उसको फाइंड करना थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट रहेगा। अभी मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, आई एम ट्राइंग टू आइसोलेट दैट पर्टिकुलर इलेक्ट्रॉन फ्रॉम द एटम। ये तो कॉमन सेंस ही है, इफ आई एम पुटिंग सम एनर्जी इनसाइड एन एटम द इलेक्ट्रॉन विल बी रिमूव्ड, बट एक्चुअल प्रोसीजर क्या हो रहा है उधर, if I am putting some energy, the energy of the electron is increased. Whenever the electron's energy increases, उसका stability क्या होगा, decrease होगा, because energy and stability are inversely proportional. If the stability is decreasing, the attractive forces must decrease. If the attractive forces are decreasing, the electron must go away and away from the nucleus. If the energy is increased to that much extent by putting more amount of energy on the electron, there is a chance that we can remove the electron out of the system. This particular process is called as ionization. The process is called as ionization. Removal of electron with the help of some amount of energy. Okay, ionization करके क्यों बोल रहा हूँ, एक बार इलेक्ट्रॉन निकालने के बाद सिस्टम के अंदर से, इनिशियली वो न्यूट्रल है, इलेक्ट्रॉन निकाल दिया तो this will be, sorry, इलेक्ट्रॉन निकाल दिया तो दिस विल बी कन्वर्टिंग इनटू a positively charged species and an electron. This is nothing but ion ना, cation, इसको बोलते हैं positively charged species को cations बोलते हैं, hence the process is called as ionization. Okay, so अभी मैं इस पर्टिकुलर एक्सपेरिमेंट में उसने क्या किया है, बिफोर द स्टार्ट ऑफ द एक्सपेरिमेंट, इस पर्टिकुलर रीजन में जो भी एयर है, एयर इज नथिंग बट मेड अप ऑफ एटम्स, राइट, इस पर्टिकुलर रीजन में जो भी एयर है, he has ionized that particular air with the help of some rays. Okay, X-rays are some energetic source of heat energy. X-rays are sources of heat energy. और जो particular air है, air is nothing but made up of atoms. So on those particular atoms, he has incident some X-rays. Whenever he incidented some X-rays, these electrons were removed out of that particular system. So अभी क्या है, इस particular system के अंदर you are having some electrons which are formed by ionization of the gas. समझ में आया वाला part? The gas which is present between the anode and cathode, उस particular gas के ऊपर उसने X-rays डाला है. Atom on absorbing those X-rays, it got ionized into a positively charged species plus an electron. now you are having between these anode and cathode you are having some electrons. Okay, ठीक है, अभी एक्सपेरिमेंट स्टार्ट करते हैं. He has taken some oil. He has taken some oil and he sprayed that with the help of an instrument called atomizer. This is called as atomizer. उसने oil droplet sprinkle किया. अभी तुम लोग थोड़ा सोच के बताना. Whenever ये बार्बर शॉप में रहता है ना स्प्रे करने के लिए वाटर, वैसा ही कुछ सोचो. He has sprayed some oil droplets. These are oil droplets. Whenever he formed oil droplets, ये सोच के बताओ, all those oil droplets, will they be of the same size or you may have different sizes of oil droplets?
Different size.
Different sizes.
Different sizes का भी रह सकता है ना.
Yes, sir.
कभी कभी ऐसा भी कुछ हो सकता है, 2-3 ऑयल ड्रॉपलेट्स मिलके एक बड़ा सा ऑयल ड्रॉपलेट भी बनने का चांस है, राइट? या अभी ये जो ऑयल ड्रॉपलेट्स है, हमने एक स्पेस लीव किया ना. whenever these oil droplets fall through this particular space, वो जो particular space हमने बनाया है, if the oil droplet is falling, पहले oil droplet नीचे क्यों गिरेगा? Because of the gravity, right? So if the oil droplet is falling through this particular space, ये जो electrons है which are present in this particular system, those electrons एक मिनट, ये जो particular electrons है which are present between anode and cathode, they can be attached or they will attach onto this particular oil droplet. Okay, अभी ये जो number of electrons जो attach होगा oil droplet के ऊपर, it depends upon the size of the oil droplet. If you are having an oil droplet of a greater size, उसके ऊपर ज़्यादा electrons लगने का probability होगा. If you are having an oil droplet which is having smaller size, the number of electrons that are going to be attached will be proportionally lesser. Okay, and we can say that always the electrons will be attached in terms of whole numbers, क्योंकि एक electron जो है it is undivisible. ये वाला point clear है? Whenever an oil droplet,
Yes.
if it is falling between those two metal plates, if the electrons are attached onto that particular oil droplet, always the number of oil droplets will be in terms of integers. ऐसा कभी नहीं हो सकता है एक आधा इलेक्ट्रॉन ऑयल ड्रॉपलेट के ऊपर जाके लगा है. ओके, ऑलवेज द नंबर कैन बी 1 2 3 4 5 6 100 1000, ऐसा कुछ हो सकता है. And the number of electrons that are going to be attached, it is a function of the size of the oil droplet. जो छोटा ऑयल ड्रॉपलेट रहेगा उसके ऊपर कम इलेक्ट्रॉन्स होगा, जो बड़ा ऑयल ड्रॉपलेट होगा उसके ऊपर ज्यादा इलेक्ट्रॉन्स रहेगा. एंड इफ कम से कम एक इलेक्ट्रॉन अटैच होने का प्रोबेबिलिटी तो है ना, सबसे लीस्ट क्या होगा? 1. मैक्सिमम कितना भी हो सकता है, लीस्ट विल बी 1. इज दिस क्लियर नाउ? सो इफ आई एम एनालाइजिंग सच एन ऑयल ड्रॉपलेट, एक ऑयल ड्रॉपलेट है, यू आर हैविंग 2 मेटल प्लेट्स, ऊपर पॉजिटिव चार्ज है, नीचे नेगेटिव चार्ज है, एंड बीच में ऑयल ड्रॉपलेट है जिनके ऊपर इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आके लगे हुए हैं. ओके, कितना इलेक्ट्रॉन्स अभी हमको पता नहीं है. ओके, ये जो ऑयल ड्रॉपलेट है, व्हाट इज द ओवरऑल चार्ज ऑन द ऑयल ड्रॉपलेट? पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव? What is the overall charge on the oil droplet? Positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative.
Because electrons are attached.
Negative.
Yeah, because electrons are attached on the oil droplet. नीचे जो प्लेट है, if it is negatively charged, ऊपर जो ऑयल ड्रॉपलेट है और नीचे जो नेगेटिव प्लेट है, उन दोनों के बीच में किस टाइप के फोर्सेस रहेंगे? अट्रैक्टिव और रिपल्सिव?
Attractive.
नीचे नेगेटिव है, नीचे वाला मेटल प्लेट, ये नेगेटिव और नेगेटिव के बीच में कौन सा फोर्सेस रहेगा?
Repulsion.
राइट. सो ये जो पर्टिकुलर ऑयल ड्रॉपलेट है, it is repelled or it is pushed upwards. Can I say that? Because of the negative metal plate present below the oil droplet, that particular oil droplet is pushed upwards. ऊपर कौन सा प्लेट है? ऊपर पॉजिटिवली चार्ज प्लेट है. वो पर्टिकुलर पॉजिटिव चार्ज प्लेट जो भी रहेगा, वो जो पर्टिकुलर ऑयल ड्रॉपलेट के ऊपर नेगेटिव चार्ज होने की वजह से, can I say there will be attractive force between this particular positively charged plate? There will be attractive force between this positively charged plate and the oil droplet. Can I say that?
Yes, sir.
तो उसके वजह से क्या होगा? It will be pulled upwards. Okay. So there are two forces which are acting in the upward direction. There are two forces which are acting in the upward direction. One is the attractive force between the positive plate and the oil droplet, and the other is the repulsive force between the oil droplet and the negatively charged plate. Right? दो forces है, एक attractive force है और एक repulsive force है. Is there any other force acting on the oil droplet? Is there any other force which is acting on the oil droplet?
No, sir.
No, sir.
किसी ने कहा है gravity करके. There is gravity also, right? और जो gravity है, the gravity is because of weight of the oil droplet. Weight of oil droplet. The weight of oil droplet will always be acting downwards. So there is a force which is acting downwards. mg मान सकते हैं, where m is the mass of oil, mass of droplet. Okay. So there are two forces which are acting upwards, and there is one force which is acting downwards. If the upward forces balance the downward force, what can happen? क्या हो सकता है?
So oil droplet will not move.
The oil droplet will become stationary, or the oil droplet will cease to move. ये जो ऊपर से नीचे गिर रहे, whenever the oil droplet is falling between those two plates, there is generation of three forces. Two forces are acting in the upward direction, and one force is acting in the downward direction.
Sir, आपका आवाज अच्छे से नहीं आ रहा. Sir, your voice is not clearly audible.
Okay. Give me 2 minutes. Yeah, मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ? Whenever an oil droplet, if it is falling between the two metal plates, anode and cathode, because of the attachment of the electrons onto the oil droplet, there is generation of two forces. One is the attractive force and the other is the repulsive force. Attractive force किसके बीच में है? Between the positively charged metal plate and the oil droplet. Repulsive force किसके बीच में है? Between the negatively charged oil droplet and the negatively charged metal plate. Okay, and these two forces are pointing upwards. There is one more force because of the weight of the oil droplet, which is acting downwards. If these upward forces become equal to the downward force, then this particular oil droplet will become stationary. So in the experiment, उसने क्या observe किया? बहुत ज़्यादा oil droplets, बहुत सारे oil droplets are becoming stationary at different regions, because सब oil droplets का जो size है वो uniform नहीं है. Because of their different sizes, वो जो stationary होने का positions है, those are also different. But once the droplet got stationary, I can apply some equations. Equations क्या है? I can say upward force for any oil droplet which became stationary. Upward force must be equal to downward force. Upward force must be equal to the downward force. ये जो upward force है is because of the interaction among the charges. Suppose मान लेते हैं ये जो बैटरी है उसके ऊपर चार्ज सम कैपिटल Q है, एंड ये जो ऑयल ड्रॉपलेट के ऊपर जो चार्ज है स्मॉल q है. ओके, स्मॉल q is the total charge on droplet. Capital Q is charge on plate, metal plate. Okay. Because of the interaction between capital Q and small q, there will be upward force. ये minus q है, ये वाला वो plus q है, but the charges will be, the magnitude will be the same. Positive charge, positive plate में plus q है तो negative plate में minus q रहेगा. Because of the interaction between capital Q and small q, okay, there will be generation of upward force. I am not giving you the exact formula वो magnitude कितना रहता है. As of now, we are just interested in the function. Function क्या है? Because of the interaction among capital Q and small q, there will be generation of upward force. Downward force जो भी रहेगा वो किसके वजह से? Because of the weight of the oil droplet, which is nothing but mg. If you are equating these two, this is some function of capital Q and small q. This is not the exact relation, but this is the exact relation क्योंकि सब लोग का formula पता है. Weight का formula m into g ना, where g is acceleration due to gravity. Okay. अभी हम क्या कर रहे हैं? We are trying to analyze the equation. We are not exactly solving it. हम बस analyze कर रहे हैं. कोई भी oil droplet stationary हुआ तो that is because of the upward force balanced by the downward force. Upward force किस वजह से? Because of the interaction among the plates and the oil droplet, or because of the interaction of the charges Q, capital Q and small q. Downward force किस वजह से? Because of the weight of the oil droplet, okay, which is m into g. If you want to solve this equation, एक बार देखते हैं इस equation में क्या क्या knowns है and क्या क्या unknowns है. ये जो Q है, ये Q किस वजह से आया? Because of the battery I have placed here. ये जो particular battery है, if I am selecting the battery from my side, ये जो Q जो है उसके ऊपर कितना आएगा वो मुझे पता होगा. So this Q is a known value. ये जो small q है, that small q is because of total number of electrons. That small q is because of total number of electrons attached on the oil droplet. If I don't know the number of electrons that are getting attached, moreover I don't know the charge of each electron. So ये जो small q है, this is unknown. ये मुझे पता नहीं है. सभी लोग हैं लेक्चर के अंदर? Okay. ये जो small q है, it is an unknown value. Capital Q is a known value. ये जो m है, this is nothing but mass of oil droplet. M is mass of oil droplet. Is this particular value a known value and an unknown value?
Unknown value.
Unknown value. Can you calculate that particular value if I give you the density of the oil droplet? And if I give you the
Yes.
volume of the oil droplet?
Yes.
What is density? Density is equals to mass upon volume. So if I want to find mass, क्या हो जाएगा? Density times volume. Density of the ये जो oil use कर रहे हैं हम use कर रहे हैं, so we will be knowing its properties. So we will be knowing the density. Volume क्या होगा? Each and every oil droplet can be treated as sphere. For a sphere, if you know the radius of it, the volume क्या हो जाएगा? 4/3 pi r cube. So जो भी oil droplet stationary हो गया है, we can find the volume of it. मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ? If you know the density of the oil droplet and if you know the mass, if you know the volume of the oil droplet, how to calculate the volume of it? By assuming that to be a sphere. एक बार वो oil droplet stationary होने के बाद ही मान लेते हैं उसके पास कुछ instruments है जिनसे उसने वो volume of the oil droplet find कर लिया है. Here he found the radius of the oil droplet. ये possible है. अभी हमको करने की जरूरत नहीं है. उसने क्या किया है वो समझा रहा हूँ मैं. He calculated the radius of the oil droplet. With the help of radius, he found the volume of it. And if you know the density, you can find the mass. So ये जो mass है, this is also a known quantity. G is acceleration due to gravity, right? That is also a known quantity. So in the equation, the only unknown is the total charge on the oil droplet. ये जो Q है वही हमको पता नहीं है. If you are substituting all the values, capital Q, small m, G, if you are substituting all the values, can you find the value of Q?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right. So उसने क्या किया? He performed the experiment many times, मतलब with different size of the oil droplets, and जब भी oil droplet stationary हुआ है, he calculated the value of small q. That small q is nothing but charge on the oil droplet, ना? Charge on oil droplet. So जब भी उसने calculate किया है, उसको ऐसा कुछ values आया है. I will be giving you the values which he obtained in the experiment, and he arranged all those values some increasing order. Starting in the least, उसको आया है 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. उसके बाद 3.2 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb, 4.8 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb, 6.4 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb, 8 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb, so on so forth. Can you observe some pattern here?
All are multiples of 1.6.
All are multiples of 1.6. Very good. So what can you conclude from this particular data? What are these values of Q? The values of Q are nothing but total charge on the oil droplet. सबसे least उसको 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 आया है, और जो भी other values आ रहे हैं, he is obtaining rest all other values as some multiple of 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb as some integer multiple. ये जो particular इस केस में n equal to 2 हुआ, इस केस में n equal to 3 हुआ, इस केस में n equal to 4 हुआ, n equal to 5 हुआ. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ होगा? ये जो particular charge है कब आएगा? If you are having 2 electrons on it. ये जो particular charge है, if this is the least, I can say only 1 electron got attached onto it. Okay, and all of them are multiples of 1.6 into 10 power minus 19, or else I can conclude the charge on electron has to be 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. Can I say this?
Yes.
ये clear है सभी लोगों को? इन द एक बार फिर से रिपीट करता हूँ एक्सपेरिमेंट, प्लीज थोड़ा ध्यान से सुनना. In the experiment, we have taken a glass chamber, okay, and inside the glass chamber you have placed 2 metal plates, and he has attached those particular metal plates to battery, which is attached to positively charged positive terminal. That particular the metal plate will be having positive charge. The metal plate which is attached to negative terminal will be having negative charge on it. If you are trying to find the charge of the electron, first of all you need to isolate that particular electron from the atom. उसके लिए क्या किया हमने? उसके लिए we have incident some particular energy which is nothing but some X-rays onto the atom. X-rays being highly energetic, वो जो rays electron के ऊपर गिरते ही क्या हुआ? Electron isolate हो गया. Okay, or else the particular process is called as ionization. So this particular region is now source of electrons. ये जो electrons है अभी इधर रहने दो. Now I am spraying some oil droplets with the help of atomizer, and the sizes of oil droplets which will be formed will be different. So when such oil droplets are falling through this particular space, the electrons will be attached onto the oil droplet. As a result, the oil droplet will be obtaining negative charge. If the oil droplet is obtaining negative charge, the metal plate which is present below it will be exerting a repulsive force, and the metal plate which is present above it will be exerting a positive attractive force. Okay, so both of these forces are pointed upwards. But वो जो oil droplet का खुद का mass रहेगा, that mass will be acting downwards because of gravity. उसका weight जो है, it will be acting downwards. So there are 3 forces, 2 forces in the upward direction and 1 force in the downward direction. In the experiment, he found several oil droplets becoming stationary at different points. स्टेशनरी किस वजह से हो रहे? बिकॉज ऑफ द बैलेंस ऑफ द फोर्सेस. अपवर्ड फोर्स गॉट बैलेंस्ड बाय द डाउनवर्ड फोर्स. ओके, सो उसके वजह से different oil droplets are becoming stationary at different points. For all those oil droplets, he applied the equation upward force is equals to downward force. Upward force किस वजह से? Because of the interaction between total charge on the metal plate and the total charge on the oil droplet, capital Q and small q. Downward force is because of the mass of the oil droplet itself, okay, which is nothing but mg. इस पर्टिकुलर इक्वेशन में नोन्स और अननोन्स क्या है उसके बारे में हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं. चार्ज ऑन द मेटल प्लेट जो है ये हमको पता होगा बिकॉज वी नो द स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ द बैटरी. चार्ज ऑन द ऑयल ड्रॉपलेट ये हमको पता नहीं होगा बिकॉज वी डोंट नो द चार्ज ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन एंड वी डोंट नो द नंबर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स दैट आर अटैच्ड ऑन द ऑयल ड्रॉपलेट. ओके, बिकॉज दैट इज द फंक्शन ऑफ साइज. जिन ऑयल ड्रॉपलेट का साइज बड़ा रहेगा उसके ऊपर ज्यादा इलेक्ट्रॉन्स रहेगा, जिन ऑयल ड्रॉपलेट का साइज छोटा रहेगा उसके ऊपर इलेक्ट्रॉन्स जो अटैच होगा वो भी कम रहेगा. ओके, ठीक है. मास के केस में once you know the size of the oil droplet, मतलब उसका रेडियस फाइंड किया तो you can find the volume of it with the help of formula 4/3 pi r cube, or else उसने वॉल्यूम फाइंड कर लिया ये मान लेते हैं. ओके, and you know the density of the oil droplet. If you know the density, if you know the volume, you can find the mass of it. ये जो g जो है it is a constant acceleration due to gravity. So in this particular equation you have three unknowns, three knowns. q known है, m known है, g known है. The only unknown which you are having is capital Q, small q, which is the total charge on the oil droplet. Okay, so he calculated the charges on all the oil droplets which are becoming stationary and he repeated the experiment multiple times. उसको लीस्ट चार्ज कितना आया है, हर कोई एक्सपेरिमेंट में उसको लीस्ट चार्ज हमेशा 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 आ रहा है. ये कब आ सकता है? if there is only one electron attached onto the oil droplet. Okay, बचा हुआ जो भी चार्जेस आ रहे हैं उसको those are obtained in terms of multiples of this particular least charge. Hence I can conclude age of particular least charge that must be charge of the electron. Common sense क्या है? The electrons must be attached in whole numbers like 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 units, 100 units, so on so forth. You cannot have 1.5 electron. If you are not having 1.5 electron, you cannot have any value between 1.6 and 3.2. वो वाला चार्ज कभी आएगा ही नहीं. अगर वैसा कुछ आ रहा है तो फिर से चार्ज ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन अलग हो जाएगा. ठीक है, always irrespective of the experiment the values are obtained in multiples of 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. From that he concluded the charge of the electron. From this I can conclude charge on electron is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. Charge on electron as 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. Is this clear? Already हमने J.J. Thomson ने एक वैल्यू दिया है E/M रेशियो के लिए. What is that? E/M रेशियो E/M रेशियो का वैल्यू ऑलरेडी हमको कितना पता है? 1.7758820 into 10 power 11 coulomb per kg. Now if you know the charge of electron, E पता है हमको 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 करके. If you are substituting that value here, क्या होगा? 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb divided by M is equals to 1.7588820 into 10 power 11 coulomb per kg आएगा. coulomb cancel होगा, so m कितना आएगा? m will be equal to 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 divided by 1.75, ये kg हो जाएगा. 1.758820 into 10 raised to 11. अगर इसको सॉल्व किया तो 10 raised to minus 19 upon 10 raised to 11 कितना आता है? It is nothing but 10 raised to minus 30. 1.6 upon 1.75 उसका वैल्यू आता है almost 0.91, which is almost equal to 0.91 into 10 raised to minus 30 kg, or else you can say it is 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31 kg. This is nothing but mass of electron. समझ में आया?
Yes, sir.
ओके, ओवरऑल समझ में आया ना? हमको इस पर्टिकुलर एक्सपेरिमेंट्स में हमको इतना ही देखना है उसका थॉट प्रोसेस कैसा है. What are the different things he has considered in order to get to the value of charge of electron. Okay, the basic is the electrons are always attached in terms of whole numbers onto the oil droplet. So whenever you are calculating the total charge on the oil droplet, it will be a whole number multiple of charge of electron. Least charge 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 आ रहे, मतलब that has to be charge of 1 electron. बाकी सब charges हम observe किया तो all those charges are multiples of this particular 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. So I can definitely conclude that 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 का factor जो है, it has to be the charge of electron. Is this clear?
Sir.
Anyone having any doubt in this particular experiment, Mulliken oil drop experiment? ये वाला particular part में, discovery of electron के part में?
No.
Once again, I will explain both the experiments.
Sir.
Revision जैसा रहेगा. हाँ बोलो. Okay, once again I will explain both the experiments just for your benefit. Revision के लिए देखो सभी लोग. First experiment is called as cathode ray tube experiment. It is called as cathode ray tube experiment because we have observed some cathode rays. What are cathode rays? Some rays which got generated because of the high voltage battery connected across the metal plates, and which are placed inside the discharge tube. This is called as discharge tube, or it is also called as Crookes tube, because this particular apparatus was first used by William Crook उसके खुद के experiment के purpose के लिए. Okay, experiment में क्या हुआ? When J.J. Thomson applied very high voltage and placed the gas at very low pressure, he observed some rays emerging from the cathode, and they started traveling towards the anode, and they produced sparks, distinct sparks on the ZNS screen. ZNS screen का property ये है, when any charged particle falls on it, then only it will produce sparks. So immediately after this observation, J.J. Thomson ने ये conclude किया, these cathode rays are charged. In order to know the nature of the charge, he placed an external battery. When he placed an external battery, the rays got deviated towards the positive terminal. From that, he concluded these rays are negatively charged. उसके बाद उसने और एक modification किया. Inside the tube, he placed a small wheel. When he placed a wheel, the wheel started to rotate. From that, he concluded these rays must possess mass. Okay, वो mass exactly कितना है हमें पता नहीं, but he concluded that these rays are having some mass because they are able to exert some force on the wheel. When he placed an opaque object, he found the shadow of the object. From that, he concluded that these rays must travel in straight lines. Okay, so he established that those rays are having some charge E, and those rays are having some mass M. Charge का units होता है coulombs, mass का units होता है kg. With the help of some experiment, he calculated the value of E upon M, E by M ratio. We know that the source of these cathode rays are the metal plate as well as the gas atoms. So in each and every experiment, he changed the sources. मतलब वो gases को और वो जो metal plates है उनको बदल के देखा. Irrespective of the experiment, he is observing some rays coming out of cathode. Those rays are creating some sparks, and those rays are rotating the mechanical wheel. So from that observation, I can conclude that rays, cathode rays, are present in all the elements. And with the observation of E by M ratio, ये जो E by M ratio है, एक constant आने की वजह से उसने ये conclude किया, the rays which are present.
I can't hear you.
Okay. अभी?
My internet connection is not proper.
Okay. I will be uploading the YouTube lecture. उसके बाद तुम बाद में try कोशिश करना वो देखने के लिए. Okay. क्या बात कर रहे थे हम? हाँ. Irrespective of the nature of the experiment, the E by M ratio is always coming to be a constant. So from that particular value, he concluded the cathode rays which are present in different metal plates and different elements are of the same nature, or else they are treated as fundamental. Fundamental matlab those particular rays are present in each and every element, hence they are called as fundamental. उसको हम क्या बोल रहे हैं? It is nothing but electron. I hope discovery of electron तो सब लोग को समझ में आया होगा. Then we have seen an experiment to calculate the mass of the electron with the help of an experiment called Millikan's oil drop experiment, in which he has sprayed some oil droplets. The electrons which are isolated from the atom are attached onto the oil droplet, and with the help of balance of forces, we have calculated the charge on each oil droplet. The logic is, depending upon the size of the oil droplet, the charge on the oil droplet will be varying. The one which is having the least size will be having the least charge, which is nothing but the charge of one electron. Okay? Experiment में भी वही observe किया गया. The least charge came out to be 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. बाकी सब charges, they were obtained as multiple of this particular 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. From that, he concluded the charge of one electron has to be 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. Okay? And J. Thomson ने already E by M ratio निकाल के दिया है हमें. So वो जो electron का charge है वो substitute करने से we got the mass of the electron. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. ठीक है, आज के लेक्चर में यहाँ तक करते हैं. In the next lecture we will be seeing the discovery of proton. अभी हमने discovery of electron देखा है and उसका charge का value के लिए क्या एक experiment देखा है, उसका mass भी निकाला है हमने. In the next lecture we will be seeing the discovery of proton, and we already know that charge of the electron is equals to charge of proton. Okay, so charge of proton के लिए अलग सा experiment कुछ नहीं है. Charge of electron is equal to charge of proton. After that we will be seeing discovery of neutron. एक बार ये तीनों का डिस्कवरी देखने के बाद we will be seeing atomic models. तुम लोग अपने क्लासेस में पढ़ा होगा जे थॉमसन का वाटरमेलन मॉडल और प्लम पुडिंग मॉडल.
Yes, sir.
प्लैनेटरी मॉडल, सरफोर्ड मॉडल, उनके बारे में डिस्कस करेंगे. ओके?
Okay, sir.
ओके, थैंक यू.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Bye, sir.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
sir.
sir.
Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Bye,
sir.
sir.
Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.